Good evening, this is Power Level 3 at RHY. I'm Bethany Vaughn. How's everyone doing, okay? Getting ready for the holiday? Kind of. These schools officially are for most schools, so the traffic will let up a little bit around town. If you're having a staycation like I am, you'll be able to buzz around. We're actually going to start off, this is Power Level 3, so we start off tonight doing alternate nostril breathing, because as we move into the practice tonight, you're going to physically balance, and so I thought it would be a really great idea to balance out the hemispheres of our brain. So you have one side of your brain which is for creativity, emotion, and then the other side is logical and organized. And sometimes they disconnect from one another in the sense that one's more active while the other is more passive. And so when you practice, you need, and just in life, you need all of your being as present as possible. And I believe it's the right side of the brain is for creativity and emotion, and the left is for logical, analytical thinking and organization. And one of the things that I certainly notice that people do and say is, oh, I'm just not that way, or I'm not this way. And all of us are both, but you have to consciously work on staying connected. And you might be inclined to be more creative or more analytical, but it doesn't negate the other. Okay? One of the other things that happens is when people experience any type of trauma, and at any time in life, it can very much so influence the way that you think and feel. And so if that happens to be part of your past or your present, then just know that you can start connecting as well, and that it'll make you feel more balanced. And then we're physically going to do a great deal of balancing. We're going to work our way tonight into Galavasana and also Ardha Rajakapotasana. And I'm going to say them in Sanskrit so that if you don't know what they are, then you won't worry. And if you do know what they are, you can be very, very excited. No, I'm just kidding, I'll tell you. So it's flying crane or crow, sort of like a half pigeon flying. And the other one is the half king pigeon. So sit up tall. I would recommend sitting on height, and that way you can feel like your thighs are moving away from your hips. And one of the things that you'll notice, especially if you've been practicing with me for a long time, is always around the holidays. So basically now all the way through the new year, I put a lot of emphasis and focus on staying balanced. You can probably figure out why. And so when you sit cross-legged, you can cross shin over shin or ankle over ankle. You want to feel like the thighs are moving away from the hips and that your sitting bones are free, so you might need to readjust so that you're sitting evenly on your sitting bones. If you have high blood pressure, heart condition, you're pregnant, then you are not going to retain the breath when we do the alternate nostril breathing. What you'll do is go in one side, one nostril, and then acknowledge the top of the inhalation and exhale through the other side, and then go in through that other side. So I'll show how to do that, and then what everyone else will do who has no contraindications, no issues that prevent them from holding the breath, then we're going to hold the breath. And we're going to do it in count for 5, and hold for 5, and out for 5. So it's all even. We're going to just do it totally balanced. That can change, not what we're doing tonight, but that can be adjusted. So here's how this works. The index finger and the middle finger actually fold down. You can just watch. And then ideally you put your pinky with your ring finger, but if that's too difficult, just hang it out, okay? And then you take your thumb and your ring finger onto the fleshy part of the nose, right where the bridge of the nose sort of stops. And you do it with your nails, not with the pads of your fingers, unless you have nails, like long nails, in which case you have to use the pads of your fingers, okay? The chin will tuck to the chest, and so if you're modifying the Kriya, then you go, the pranayama, you go in the nose, acknowledging the top of the inhalation, and then out the other side. Acknowledging the bottom of the exhalation, in the side you just exhaled, and then out the other side. So that's where it's just straight through. So if you need to do that, do that. Otherwise, this is what it's going to be like. In the right, hold for 5, out the left. In the left, hold for 5, out the right. That's 1 round. Okay, so once you're back onto the right side, you've exhaled, you start the next round. And what I'd like to do is 10 rounds. So sit up nice and tall, make sure that you're comfortable, readjust if you need to. You want your side bodies lengthening. You can take your index finger and ring finger and fold them down, and then hold right on your nose. Tuck your chin onto your chest. Open the right nostril and breathe in for 5. Hold both nostrils, chin is tucked, holding for 5. Out the left nostril for 5. In the left for 5. Hold for 5. Out the right. Breathe in through the right. Hold. Out the left. In the left. Hold. Out the right. In the right. Hold. Out the left. In the left. Hold. Out the right. Seven more rounds. mindful that you're sitting up tall, that you keep the chin tucked to the chest, Jalandhara Bandha, and that if you notice that you have any gripping in your thighs or your hips, that you relax that gripping. Doing 3 more rounds or so. When you do complete your 10th round of alternate nostril breathing, and then take 3 Ujjayi style breaths, and that way I'll know that everyone has completed their breathing exercise. When you have completed your 3rd Ujjayi breath, take downward facing dog. Take your feet hip distance or wider as you're able, hands shoulder distance. Press down firmly through your hands and through your feet. Strengthen your arms and strengthen your legs. Draw your low belly in, up and back. Bend alternate knees. Walk out your dog a little bit. And just notice some of the effects of that alternate nostril breathing. I think it's amazing that you can have so many things on your mind or feel so worked up emotionally, or even aches and pains physically in the body, or stress. And then you sit and you do alternate nostril breathing for even just 10 breaths. And you begin to get perspective, you feel more balanced, you have clarity, there's calmness, and it's so wonderful because it's always with you. Let's look to the space between our hands and walk up into that space. Then hang forward. Take your feet wide enough that you are comfortable, like your thighs feel like they're rolling internally quite easily. And as you hang forward, bend your knees if you need to, and then grab opposite elbows, thumbs in the creases of the elbows, and we turn the head right and left in a no motion, and we nod the head in a yes motion. You can take your head around in little circles, go in both directions. You can start really amping up your Ujjayi breath that you can hear, breath that you can feel really deeply. And then still your head and switch out your grip so you have the other forearm in front. And we're going to move the hips from side to side, bend alternate knees. You can take a little bit of weight forward towards your toes, behind your hips, over your ankle bones. And balance out your sides. We'll bring it center. Hanging your arms down. Take a couple of breaths here. And then if you're back injured or you're pregnant, you should leave your feet hip distance apart. Walk your hands up your bent legs. Otherwise, toe heel your feet so that they come side by side. Kick your thighs back, tuck your tail down, and round yourself upright. And take your shoulders down and back twice. And we'll come to the top of the mat and move into our sun salutations. We're going to do a series of 10 sun salutations. In this class, we did them really straightforward. We hold our down dog for 5 breaths in the B series, not in the A sun salutations. And we move on an 8 count breath as we're warming up. So bring your hands to heart center. Breathing evenly in and out through your nose. Eyes are open. And on the inhale breath, raise your arms upward towards the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. And as you exhale, bow forward into Uttanasana. Taking your left foot, step it back. Raise the arms up, low lunging. Placing your hands down, step back, and lower all the way to the floor. Keep your hands where they are, tops of feet down. Curl the chest up, inhalation Bhujangasana. Exhalation Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take the left foot, step it forward, low lunging. Coming up to forward bend. Rise up, take a tiny arch back. Exhalation bow, head is relaxed. Right side, knee goes down. Hands to the mat. Lower the floor. Inhalation cobra. And exhalation downward dog. Taking the right foot, stepping it up. And coming up to forward bend. Rise up, arc it back, and bow. Left side, knee goes down. Step it back, lower the floor. Curl it up for cobra, and then press it back to downward facing dog. Taking the left foot, step it forward, and come up to forward fold. Rise up, arc back, and bow. Right side, knee goes down. Lower the floor. Curl it up, and press back. Come up with the right, and forward bend. Take it up and back, and bow. Left side, knee goes down. Step back, lower the floor. This time, take your hands wide and on your fingertips, curl it up high, auspicious cobra. And on the exhalation, press it back. And take the left foot, stepping it up. Deep forward bend. Rise. Bow. Right side. Lower to the floor. Wide and high. Bring it back. Right foot up. Deep forward bend. Rise. Bow. Left side. Lower chaturanga. Curl it up, dog. Press it back down, dog. Left foot up. Deep forward bend. Rise and bow. Right side. Lower chaturanga. Curl it up and back. Right foot up. Forward bend. Rise and bow. Left side, knee goes down. Lower chaturanga. Upward dog. Downward dog. Left foot up. Forward bend at the top. Take it up and back. And bow. Right side. Knee goes down. Lower chaturanga. Upward dogs. Downward dogs. Right foot will come forward. Come up. Forward bend. Bow. Left side. Knee goes down. Lower chaturanga. Curl it up. Bring it on back. Left foot up. Deep forward bend. Rise and bow. Right side goes down. Lowering chaturanga. Curl it up. Bring it back. Up with the right. And at the top, forward bend, and then sit down in your imaginary chair. We're going right into B. Shoot it up. Exhale, bow down. Look up halfway, step or jump back. Chaturanga, upward dogs, downward dogs. Left foot up, warrior one. As soon as you're up, bring it back down. Right side. Hold your down dog. 5 breaths. Make some subtle adjustments. Step or jump. Fold. Bend your knees, sitting in your chair. Now hold your chair for a moment. If you have a back issue, you're pregnant, you're going to do it the way we did the first one, where you actually stand up to fold down. Otherwise, you can just bow forward. Then look up and come on back. Inhaling. Exhaling. Left foot forward, warrior one. You come right back down. Five breaths. Now, one of the most challenging things about holding your down dog is that when there's not a lot of instruction, You have to go inward. Approach going inward in a bit of a different way. Approach going inward with curiosity and excitement. What's going on in there? And then look up, and step or jump, fold, and bend your knees, sitting in your chair, and bowing down, looking up halfway, and coming back. Slow. Inhale, and exhale. Left foot up, warrior one. Flow with your breath. Move into your right side. Downward dog. 5 breaths. Make your hands look the same on either side of your mat. Check. Reach your thumbs toward each other. Reach your pinky fingers away from your thumbs. Pull your low belly in more. Your thighs back. Engage your legs. Descend your heels. They may not touch the ground, that's alright. Elevate your hamstrings and draw your low belly in more. Now relax your neck. Strengthen your arms. Put some lift under the forearms. Don't collapse in the arms. Good. Look up. Step or jump. Exhale, fold. Then bend your knees. We're going to sit down into the imaginary chair. Bow forward, scoop the chest forward, look up halfway, and then come on back. This is your last beat. Inhaling and exhaling. We're going to take the left foot up, warrior one, coming right back down. Do the right side. And then we meet in downward facing dog. 5 breaths. And if you're in the habit of taking cleansing breaths, work on not doing that. Harness your breath. Move your breath all around your body. Deepen your down dog. And look up. Step or jump. Fold. Sitting down in your imaginary chair. Come up. And bring your hands to your heart. Good evening. Have a sip of water if you need it. In the hot room, it's fine to take water. And if you ever practice yoga when it's cooler, you don't really need it. Ideally, you wouldn't have it, but in the hot room, you need it. And I already told y'all what we're working on. Alright, we're going to get a rest. We're working on what I call finding the balance. And not just balancing on one foot, okay? But finding the balance between the feet. Finding the balance, grounding down and lifting up. And one of the things that people fake all of the time is lifting their chest. They thrust their chest forward, okay? But the breastbone is still sinking down, okay? And so we're gonna work a lot tonight on actually lifting, not thrusting. You see, that's just forward. Lifting, lifting, lifting the chest, not the shoulders. Okay. So start differentiating between all those different parts and ways to do it, and all the different poses to challenge you to get that lift up to the chest. Where it comes from is a strong foundation. You can't have an open heart if you don't have a strong foundation. If you didn't get one when you were growing up, build one for yourself now. Come to the top of the mat. Bring your hands to your heart. Take a cleansing breath if you need it. Emotionally, you may need it. And then the inhale, raise your arms. And as you exhale, bow forward. Looking up halfway, you can step or you can jump back. Curl the chest up. And then press it back into downward facing dog. I'm going to take the left foot up for warrior two. Arms extended to the right and to the left. Look at your left foot and put your hands on your hips. Turn your foot to the left. More. And one more time. Good. Now bend your knee. Straighten the back leg. Turn the chest. Be mindful. As long as the knee and the foot are pointing in the same direction, you're good. Open that hip. Gaze is left. Put your hands back on your hip. Turn your foot so it faces forward. Straighten both legs. You feel that hip open a little bit more. And then we're going to hinge forward, right where the hips meet the thighs. And grab the outer ankle bones and put the head on the ground. Inhale, rise. Turn, right foot in deeply. Left foot to face forward. Come on the ball of your back foot. Bend your forward knee on Jayanyasana. Crescent. Yes, it's interesting getting in that way, yes? Straighten the back leg. If you need to modify, you can put your back knee down. Lift your ribs up. Notice how your chest is thrusting forward. Tuck your tail, pull in your belly, lift your chest. There you go. Now you can take the upper body back. More. Good. Hands to the floor. Step back and lower. Inhaling and exhaling. So the key here is it's not looking like something, it's being something. Anyone can look like they have it all together, but are they really balanced? Bring your right foot forward for warrior two. And then put your hands on your hips as you look at your right foot. And turn the foot. Be mindful of your knee if you have a knee issue. Turning the foot. And then bending that knee. Straighten your left leg. Open your arms. Turn the left side of your ribs back. Look right. Breathe into the hip. Hands on the hips. Straighten out the foot. Straighten out the legs. Turn the feet so that they face. Long orange wall. Loop the tail. Hinge forward. Walk back through your legs. Grab your ankles. Put your head on the ground. Shoulder blades down. Good. Breastbone toward the mat. You shouldn't have to hunch to do that. In fact, you should feel you can pull your shoulder blades back even further when you lift your breastbone. Are you moving from the right place? Lift the breastbone from the bottom to the top. Pull the bottom of the shoulder blades in. Let them lift your heart more. Good. Then inhale and come up. Turn your left foot in, deep. Turn your right foot so that it's forward. Come on the ball of your back foot. And this is where you're going to notice you start tilting forward. Try to stay upright. As you're bending your right knee, press back through your left heel. Yeah, nice. And then bring your arms up. Loop your tail. Lift your chest. And bring the upper body further back as you're able. Once you create that freedom, you should be able to go back. Beautiful. Hands to the mat. Step back and lower. Curl it up and press it back. Left foot forward, triangle. Coming directly in. Right hand to hip, left knee bending, half moon, lift up. Engage your left leg so well and rotate the right hip back far enough you can feel your left thigh lifting and that line of energy coming up through the hip. Standing split. Rotate. Take it passive right now. Just relaxing down. I want you to work on lifting your chest towards the standing foot. Create a stronger foundation. Use both of your legs, but especially focus on your standing leg. Lift the thigh. Take the other thigh skyward. Move the breastbone closer to standing foot. You've got this. Good. And then feet come side by side. Reach back, scoop your heels into the palms of your hands. Fold in. Shoulder blades down, breastbone towards tops of the feet. And release. Bend your knees, sit down into your imaginary chair. Bow forward. Look up. Let's bring it on back. Inhaling, exhaling. Right foot comes up. Triangle. Straight legs. Long lines of energy. Getting that sensation of that right thigh lifting up through the left hip already. And then bending in your front knee. Move your right hand forward and lift your back leg up. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Engage your right leg so well and draw that left hip back far enough. You can feel the lift coming from the right thigh up through the left hip. Now find the balance, forward and back, up and down. And then bring it into the standing split. And the reason we go into all the different positions is because each and every one of them offers different benefits, physically, emotionally, and mentally. So each time you come in a new pose, not only do you have to wrap your body around the pose, become the pose physically, you have to also learn its mental and emotional characteristics. Lift more. For 3, 2, let's step the feet side by side. Fold in deeply, reach back, scoop up your heels. And bring the head towards the shins, but more importantly, take the breastbone closer to the tops of the feet and the shoulder blades down the back. Good. Bend your knees and sit down in your imaginary chair. Exhale, bow forward. Look up, come on back. Lower. Inhaling, exhaling. Left foot forward, warrior 2. Look to the right, slide to the left, Urdhva. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, reverse. Take a deep inhale up the left side body. Exhale, slide into Urdhva bind. Left arm under, right arm behind. Work your binding. Put a strap if you need a strap. You can drop the strap from your top hand down to your bottom hand. Your legs will be very good. We're going to build on this in a little while. We're just being here for 2 more breaths. Tuck your left buttock under, pull your low belly in, lift the chest up, rotate the chest. Nice change, good pose. Good, and release. Hands to the mat, step back, and lower. Inhaling, and exhaling. And right foot comes forward, warrior 2. Look to the left, slide to the right, Parsvakonasana. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, reverse it. Take a deep breath up the side body. Exhale, slide it. Parsvakonasana, bound. Right arm under, left arm behind. Binding. Turning your waist, chest, shoulders, neck if it's comfortable. Breathing. Two more breaths. Low belly in. Right buttock tucks. Can you lift your chest? Don't thrust your chest. Lift your chest. Nice, Courtney. Release. Lower. Curl it up. Press it back. Feet side by side. Left leg up. Bring it forward for half pigeon. Right leg goes back, straight in line with the hip. I'm going to have everybody drop down on the left buttock for just a moment. Turn your right foot so it faces the long mirrored wall. We're not going to stay like this, so keep your blocks and stuff handy. But just so that we can get an understanding, notice where your upper body is right now. Okay? And if you're really far forward of your hips, back up a little bit. Here we go. Good. And then we're going to take this shin in the front and just move it a little bit further forward. Be mindful of your knees if you have a knee issue. Then we're going to test the water. Tuck the back toe, and then just gently let the top hip kind of come down. See how it feels in your knee. And if it's not torquing your knee, it means your hip is open. Maybe you can go a little bit further. If you feel a little twinge, back up. Make sense? Okay, and so from here, go ahead and come into your half pigeon, lifting your chest up, and then move your chest forward. And breathe. And you're using the weight of your body to open up the hip. And this is why it's actually very important that you don't have your leg winging off to the side. You want to keep your knee in line with your hip so that you can actually open the hip. I'm going to come around and check on you. Top of the back foot should be down. Good. Slowly come up. Bring your back leg forward for Agni Stambhasana double pigeon. Very exciting. So you had your left leg forward, so that one's going to be on the bottom. I'm going to do the same as y'all, so I'll look a little different than you. Left leg is on the bottom. Go get your right leg, stack it on top. Now when I teach a class and it's totally packed, and the folks are more like either beginner or intermediate, I cut them some slack in this pose, but you're not getting any slack. So and this pose is challenging for me. Elena gets a little slack because she has had a knee surgery. That is not really slack, that's just smart. Okay? So when you cross your legs, you want to get so that you have shin stacked over shin like this. If you can. If you cannot do it, you pull the bottom heel in closer to the buttocks. Okay? Feet are flexed. Sitting bones are even. So adjust so your sitting bones are even. And breathe into the tightness. The foot is not on the inside, it's on the outside of the leg. Move it over. Pick it up and move it. Pull your bottom one in further. And you know what you need to do? Sit on a block. If you cannot get your legs to work with you and you've made all those other modifications, sit on height. We're going to put the hands behind us on the fingertips. Take an inhale, lift the chest. As the exhale pushes all the way out, open the hips, open the knee down. Another breath like this. Send it right into your hips. 3 more breaths. Keep the feet awake. Flex the feet. Come forward. Relax your head. Breathe deeply in your back and keep your breastbone moving towards your face. The resistance you feel in your hips is partially due to physicality, to genetics, and partially due to resistance to change. And fear, for any number of reasons, some very legitimate reasons, I am very sure. But it's time to be here in this moment. Let your hips open, do your best. Good, slowly come up. Cross your legs. Plant your hands and press into down dog. If you feel a warm and cool sensation around the hips, is anyone feeling that? It's blood flow. There, we can do the other side for half pigeon. So lift your right leg up and take it forward for half pigeon. And drop down on that right buttock and adjust your right shin. And be mindful that your knee is straight in front of your hip, that the other leg is straight back from your other hip. And then let that top hip come a little bit down, test the water, notice how it's treating your knee, make adjustments as necessary. Also, you need to back that upper body up. Make sure that you're more stacked, like shoulders over hips. Good. And then bring the chest forward. Gently come up. Bring your back leg forward. And now your right leg should be on the bottom. And your left leg is onto the top. Foot on the outside of the legs. Sitting bones even. Feet active, so I have to wake them up. You flex the toes back. Sit on height if you need it. Put your hands behind you and inhale your chest up. Keep all that lift, and as you exhale, feel the knee open towards the floor. Good, we do that 4 more times. Breathing in. And out. Just stay calm because we chose to do this. Well, I chose to do this. Just bringing you along for the ride with me and my mind and my heart and my hips that just need to open so much. It's very interesting how we can rationalize things, but physically we have to work through stuff. And you want that balance. Everything needs to come together.
Come forward. Do your best. And something that I think is really important, you know, always on Thanksgiving, everybody talks about gratitude, which is phenomenal, is of course, but also patience and compassion. Deep breaths right behind your heart. Let your head relax, but keep your breastbone moving forward, keeping that lift in your chest. Just these little subtle adjustments and changes can make a really big difference and allow the hips to open. That fight that you have in the hip, go in there and soothe that fight. Good, and then gently unwind. This time just uncross your legs. Good. And something that I want everyone to do, regardless of whether or not you have a knee issue, is take the end of your mat and start rolling it up towards you at about halfway. So it's like a half roll of your mat. This, if you ever have any kind of issues with your knees, they just feel a little funky, you can always do this. You just take a rolled up mat or half of a roll, put your calves right at the, what we call the belly of the calf, onto the roll so that your heels come off the ground easily. And then we're not lifting into Purvottanasana. We're not doing Eastern stretch. We're really just focusing on the legs, so your seat will only lift a bit off the ground. Let me show you. You take an inhale to your chest, and then you lift while you press your calves down and squeeze your thighs like there's no tomorrow. And press through the balls of your feet. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Straight legs, pressing down while lifting up. And release. And your knees are good as new. You feel that? It's nice. How'd that feel for you? Pretty decent? Good. All right. So we're going to move tonight into Galavasana and also Ardha Raja Kapotasana. We need a little bit more prep time so that we can get into really, really good poses. So I'm going to have you move your mats to the wall. It's time to go to the wall. And we're going to work upright and upside down for a little bit, and then we're going to work into those poses. You should have just enough time to get them in. So put the short end of your mat on the wall. Any orange wall will do. And the first thing that we're going to do is the standing split at the wall. So come a little closer to me and watch. Come closer so you can see what I'm doing with my feet. So when we start to go in, some of you have done this, obviously, you've been working with me for a long time, but if you've not ever done a standing, has anyone not ever done a standing split on the wall? Okay. Everybody else, yes? No? Okay. Well, you're about to find out what it's like. Okay. So you give yourself enough room to fold forward, and then you put one of your legs up onto the wall. And for some people, they're like, very good, that's it. But I'm going to ask you to press into your hands, lift your foot, and bring it all the way back, and then walk your hands back as you come into the standing split. You see? And then you have to walk your hands forward to come down. Now you can keep your toes of the leg that's on the wall tucked if you're not getting as high as you want to with that foot, so that you can continue sort of tucking the toes and walking yourself further and further up the wall. Okay. You want to get your pelvis to come onto the wall. Like you try to get your pelvis on the floor in a regular split. Well, when you're doing this one, this is your floor. Make sense? Don't turn your leg out all the way to the side to get the pelvis to come to the wall. Thighs rotate in. Okay, let's do it. Whichever leg you want to start with is fine. I like the pressing in the hand action to move the foot because that's very similar to when you arm balance, like Galabasana. Start to get that floating feeling. Heel goes right onto the wall. Have a good attitude. Y'all need to watch my son's YouTube video. It says, be positive, believe in yourself, have a good heart. Walk the hands back, keep the heel of the standing foot onto the ground. Keep breathing. When you meet with resistance, is it physical or is it emotional? Is it a combination of both? Can you breathe through it? Can you rotate your thigh more deeply in? Can you lift your leg higher by grounding into the foot onto the floor? Now lift your chest towards the mat as you send the leg in the air higher and the foot on the ground more deeply through the earth. For 3, relax your neck. 2, good. 1, walk your hands forward. Bring the leg down. Fantastic. Let's do the other side. You only have 2 legs. Do the other side. We only have an hour and a half. We got to get this done. That's the left side of my brain. Hopefully you pick your tight side first. Probably not. Probably not. Probably went into your more open side first, right? Yep. It's my right side of the brain. Notice that you have freedom in your chest. You can actually move your chest closer to your standing foot. Relax your neck. Strengthen your standing leg. Strengthen your leg reaching up the wall. Put your pelvis right onto the wall. Rotate that thigh in. If you're having trouble with that, you tuck your toes and roll the thigh in, just like if you were in half pigeon or split on the floor. We have 5. Walk your hands forward. Good. Here's something fun to do after that, Virasana. Take your knees together. Sit right down onto the floor. Take height if you have an issue with the knee, but otherwise you might find that you go right down or closer than you have been before. Breathe. Beautiful. All right, here we go. We're going to go into lotus pose. Okay? I'm going to come in the center so y'all can. I will be able to actually turn around once I do it, so that might be helpful. So just listen if my back is to you. So the one leg comes over, and what you don't want to do is just pull it up like this and have it like all out to the side. Okay? Oh, you turn it off. You want to turn the foot over and bring the knee forward, and then bring the foot up. Now, I have a little bit of a torque in my right leg knee today, so be careful. And then do that first. And then once you get your feet up into this and then do the other side. For some people, the pose is quite easy. And for others, not so much.
Can I do palm press instead?
You can what?
Can I do palm press instead?
You can, yes. Just open the hip. That's the whole idea. That's all we're trying to do is just open the hip up. Once you get in there, be patient. You know, like I started on one side, and you do need to do both sides. I started on one side that was not going to be agreeable at the moment, and so that's all right. I switched, and then take a couple breaths. The same way that you work the double division with the hands behind you, and a nice deep breath up, and then down to the hips, it will help. It will. Nice deep breath. How'd you like your standing split? It's goodness, right? Yeah. And then go ahead and once you've done one side, if you're in the half, of course, switch your legs. And if you're in the full, switch whatever leg you did first. I know, it's crazy, right? One thing that is helpful is that if you lean back, you let the knee come up off the ground, you'll be able to bring the foot. But be very mindful of your knee. Here's why the knees hurt, is that the hip stops opening up. And so then the knee takes the brunt of it. So you do not want that to happen, okay? Really, if you work from your feet a bit, if you open the foot, did you see me make that little adjustment? I could have verbalized it, sorry. I turned my foot over more, yes, so that I could get that hip and knee to work with me. Foot to knee to hip, hip to knee to foot. Take the same number of breaths here. And don't be afraid of your pose when you get in there. It can feel like taut in the knees. Breathe. Pull your belly in, find Tadasana, lift your chest. This is a few words. This is the pose, right, on every single yoga magazine. I always joke about this. Somebody's sitting blissfully in lotus. Are you feeling the bliss? Yeah. Or another B word. All right, so go come out of your lotus, and then we're going to move into Galavasana. Okay? So, it's not my best pose, but I love it. It's fun. So the foot crosses over like half lotus. You can also do it from figure 4, okay? I love this one. So you love it? And then you come down and you wrap your foot around your arm, your elbow, and then you lift the other foot off of the ground. If you need help with balance, you can put your head down. Now that how you do it, she's gonna fly. Opening the hip in this way. when you're in the pose, focus on lifting the breastbone and continuing to reestablish your foundation, which is in your arms as well, because now you're standing on your hands. And do both sides.
Such a good pose.
Good. And then once you've done both sides, we're going to go directly into the half pigeon and take it up into the half king pigeon. Okay? This is where if you need your straps, you should go ahead and grab your strap. Because if you cannot reach your foot with your hands, either one or both of them, then you're going to need your strap to hold your foot. Okay? Courtney, can I borrow your strap for a quick second? So, right, because you're going to have one leg forward and one leg back. And then this leg is going to come up. And if you are not going to grab it and turn your arm over, then you're going to want to put your strap around your foot. Thank you. That way, you can still work on the pose like so. Because you're going to get what we call the essence of the pose. I mean, you'll be perfectly aligned and you'll get as open as you can at this moment. So it would be better to use the strap than to just hang out and not do anything. Or just hold a half pigeon, which is fine, but all right? So bring one leg forward and one leg back. This is a back bend. And bend your back knee. Go ahead and grab your foot. For those of you that can turn your arm over, you can bend your elbow and turn your arm over. Otherwise, grab your strap and walk your hands back. Walk your hands as far back as you can. Kick the foot back, kick it back, and use it to lift your chin. Press back, yes, come on further. Use your other hand for support. Kick back. Yes, now walk your hands up, down, the strap. I got your strap. Walk it back out. Come on, do that. There you go. Now turn that elbow over. Pull your belly in. Elbow goes up. Don't pull the elbow forward. Send it up. Good. Kick the foot back and lift more. Round the shoulders. Pull the belly in and lift. Good. 3, 2, okay, and release. Okay, so those elbows, they come in and up like so. If they're out to the side, that's wasted space, it sinks down, okay? It's like if you have your arms straight up, let's say you're trying to reach for something on the top shelf. If you reach straight up like this, you're closer to it than if you're over here, okay? So you gotta put your elbows in. Do the other side. back leg. Don't pull with the arms. Resist that urge to pull. Now, traction. Push the strap back. Pull, kick. Kick back. Kick. Lift the chest. Pull the belly in. Straighten the thighs. Lift a little bit more. Take the same number of reps here as you did on the other side. Pull those elbows in and up. Lift the chest up, not forward, up. Kick back more. For 3, 2, beautiful. Release. And then go ahead and rest for a couple of breaths. Either child's pose, or you may just want to lie down on your back. You choose. We're not quite a Shavasana, but okay. Unwind, and we're going to go upside down. Stand on your head, forearms, hands. You're right at the wall, so practice what's appropriate. 2 minutes. Handstand will traction your spine the best. Another 10 seconds. Wherever you are, increase the lift in your chest. Strengthen your foundation. Breathe into wherever you feel any resistance at all. And then come down and rest. And slowly come up. And rock and roll yourself up for a second, and I'm going to show you this next pose. And I'm going to, y'all are going to, pardon the view for, in the front row, but I'm going to show you from the side so that you can see. We're going to do Baddha Konasana and bring our forehead to our toes while we're reclined. Okay? And it's such a good pose. And it's kind of like doing rabbit, but opening the hips at the same time. So you put your feet together and you take your hands and you interlace them around your feet, like so. And then you're going to notice, hopefully your hips are a little bit more open than they were when you came in. And from here, you pull your toes over your head and then take a deep inhale. And on the exhale, you bring your head to your toes and your toes to your head. So it's not just toes to head and it's not head to toes. They meet each other. It's a balance, and if you don't balance it out, it won't happen. But if you do balance it out, you may surprise yourself. It may very well happen. It's not that far. Okay? This would be like much further, right? Because it's, I'm not gonna lift my feet, well you could, but I'm not gonna lift my feet off the floor, so that's a lot further. Okay, so it's easy. No, lie on your back. Take your feet together, knees open. Interlace over the feet and get in there for a second and feel that. Let the hips open. Then move the feet over, like near the face. Yes. And take a deep inhale. And on your exhale, start moving your head to your feet and your feet to your head. And hold just for a breath. The sensation of having your toes on your forehead is magical. It's an unbelievable feeling. It completes the circuit. High intelligence, primal existence in a beautiful circle. And then release. Fantastic. Place your feet onto the mat. Pick up your hips and move them left. Pull your knees into your chest and drop your knees over to the right. Supine twisting. If you want to take a more advanced version of the pose, you're welcome to. Lift your top leg, followed by your bottom. Pick up your hips, move them to the right. Pull the knees in and drop the knees over to the left. Lift your top leg, followed by your bottom, Shavasana. And I will guide you out of your Shavasana, so completely just surrender, let go, and relax. Allowing your natural breath to come in as the even breaths ease away. Rest.
Take a slow, deep breath in. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Exhale completely. Ease your focus and your attention back into this moment in the room. Bend your knees and place your feet to the mat. And whichever side you're inclined to, roll towards. Roll to that side and let the top shoulder come over so that you can just take a nice deep breath all over all sides of your chest. One of your hands is free, so you're going to use that hand to help you come up, but use it and try not to just come up with your head so much. Let your body bring you up and your head to follow. And you can sit cross-legged on your mat so that we're all facing the center of the room. And together we'll chant Om 3 times. Hands at heart center, eyes closed. Namaste.